Boise is steadily growing, and a lot of people are looking for an alternative to Boise that doesn't have the big city feel. So today we're gonna be going over a hidden gem that a lot of people overlook on their way to Boise. And that city's Kuna. So we're gonna go over the pros and cons of Kuna, the family lifestyle, the small town charm, and what is coming to Kuna that may interest you. So if you're comparing places like Meridian, Nampa to Kuna, I want to show you guys why families are actually quietly choosing Kuna over the other suburbs. And towards the end, I'll share with you a piece of information that nobody quite knows just yet. Well, hey YouTube family, my name is Jonathan. I actually made this YouTube channel to be a resource and a guide for all of those who are looking to move to Boise or interested in moving to Boise. I'm an Idaho native who grew up here all my life, who speaks Spanish. And my goal is to give you guys knowledge, information, and my personal experiences so that you can make the decision on whether or not Idaho or the Boise Valley is the right fit for you guys. So what I would love for you to do is if you have any questions or want to book a call with me, here is my personal number below on where you can contact me directly, and we can set up a time to call and go over your goals and needs so that you can really feel confident about whether or not Boise is the right fit for you. All right, so we are starting in one of the suburbs of Boise, which is called Kuna, and a lot of people mispronounce it. It looks like Kuna or Kuna, but it's pronounced kind of with like a Q. It's called Kuna, and I'm walking here in the downtown area to show you kind of firsthand experience of what it might look like to live and be in the Kuna area. So we'll be kind of walking and talking. So please excuse any road noise that you may hear, but I'm gonna show you guys the lens from my eyes here the best that I can as we go over some things here. So I'm gonna show you guys first a little bit of what the street looks like. Here we got, you know, a quick gas station and a Chinese restaurant. My car is parked all the way down there, so I'm making the sacrifice of coming to show you guys this in the cold morning. We got a dessert shop, a little cake shop here, and a very popular Peruvian restaurant called Lima Limon. A lot of people come over here for these restaurants, and there's another one over here down here called Enrique's. I know it's very popular with a lot of the people that are living in Boise. They come down just to visit this Enrique's Mexican spot. But what you're gonna see is that a lot of the businesses are local, they're boutique. You're not gonna have a lot of big box stores that are selling corporate, you know, big things. A lot of that you're gonna be able to find in the Meridian and Boise areas. So when you're visiting Kuna and you come to the downtown, you can definitely feel that it's like that small town vibe, small town feel, because you're not seeing a bunch of corporate businesses. What you're seeing is local shops, restaurants, and lounges. And it adds to that small town feel. It's still keeping about 30 minutes, and we'll talk about car driving and traffic a little bit later in the video. But from Kuna, I was driving here from Nampa, and I was kind of keeping track of where I live. I used to live in Meridian, but from that South Meridian area to Kuna, it only took me about 15 minutes, 12 minutes actually. Which means that from Kuna to the Boise area, you can expect to drive about 30 minutes if you're working or being in the Boise area. So I think that's a great spot for you to understand that Kuna is not that far on a map. It looks a little farther than it actually is, but if you can plan ahead, it's only about 30 minutes from your drive, because South Meridian Road is the main road you'll use. It's kind of like a J. Kuna kind of looks like a J to me, and you can use South Meridian Road to get to the main spots of Meridian and to I-84, which is our highway freeway that gets you from the Boise east side to the Canyon County Caldwell west side. So as I continue to walk a little bit further downtown, you'll see that behind me there's a couple of salons, there's a couple of kind of bar grills behind me as well, local insurance companies, and there is a US bank as well behind me. As you guys know, I'm a big foodie. I've talked about it before in my other videos. I am a big foodie, so when it comes down to the restaurants and the options for you and your family to go out to eat, the downtown area isn't very full of restaurants. There is a couple down over here, like Idaho Pizza Company. I forgot what it starts with a stone. It's called, oh, Sandstone. I can see it from here. That's how small the downtown is. You can see the end of it from the street over. It's called Sandstone. Like I said earlier, Enrique's is also over here. It's another Mexican restaurant called Fiesta Guadalajara is over here as well. So in terms of food, you're not gonna have a really big range of restaurants to try from. But if you go up south, oh my gosh, look at that. The wind is crazy right now. You're not gonna have an extreme amount of options, like I said, but above, when you drive north a little bit on South Meridian Road, you are gonna find more restaurants. There are a lot more commercial developments happening over in the northern part of Kuna. They're adding local restaurants like Nara Ramen, which is a Japanese cuisine. It's gonna have sushi and ramen. I love the Japanese cuisine. They're also adding a grocery outlet over there, which is gonna be another option for families to go and get their groceries. We're gonna go visit Ridleys here in a moment after this section, but there are going to be a Mobetta's as well. They recently added Dirty Dough, which is kind of like a crumble cookie. I've actually never been to it just yet, but they have like desserts and stuff over there. And they also have a Marco's Pizza for when you had those late nights and you can't really get to making dinner. You know, pizza's always a great alternative. So from the walk in the beginning of the video, we've pretty much covered the entire downtown of Kuna. So you'll notice that it is a very short walk and there's not a whole lot to come and see. In a sense, it's not going to be a downtown that blows your socks off, but the downtown isn't what brings people to Kuna. And so that's what I want to cover over today. There are other things that are bringing families to Kuna, like home prices and the small town family culture that is really attractive. So we're gonna now head over to a small place where families get a lot of their groceries from. It's a grocery store called Ridleys. Okay, we are now heading towards the Ridleys here in Kuna, which is just a few minutes from most neighborhoods, I would say, in the Kuna area. This is gonna be a full service grocery store that has great produce, deli, it's got a pharmacy attached to it, and then there's also an Ace hardware store as well over here. So that's gonna give a lot of families easy access to getting what they need throughout their week. And there's also an Albertsons down the road back towards the downtown area if you prefer that. I just know that Albertsons is going to be a little bit more expensive on the bill side of things. So it's just something kind of to keep in mind. I want also to talk about just why I like Kuna in terms of, I don't live in Kuna, but I do like the area a lot. And I'm not biased just being a YouTuber, real estate guy, but truthfully, we take my little cat, Olive, I'll take a picture of her right here, Olive, and my little dog, Benji. We actually take them to one of the pet cares in I think it's called the Pet Care Clinic in Kuna. We take them there. I was neighbors with the gym owner down here in Kuna as well. So it's just kind of, I also growing up here, since I've grown up here all my life, I've had a ton of friends down here that lived in Kuna, so we would always be out here, whether it be for just outdoor things or just hanging out with friends. So those are also just different little ties that I had to the Kuna area living in Meridian. So it's just kind of, it's cute. They're memories that you make, and I've definitely loved living in Idaho because of how friendly everyone is. But I want to go into the Ridleys, or maybe just be outside of it a little bit more and keep talking to you guys about it. This is going to be definitely a staple, like I said, Ridleys, in terms of where you're going to be doing a lot of your grocery shopping. Okay, so we were looking for approval from management to get us into the store and let us film in there, but we couldn't find them. So unfortunately can't film in there, but I did get this little clip of the tannerite that's in the Ace hardware store section of the Ridleys. And why I show you guys that is because it shows the culture of Kuna, of the Idaho area, and how easily accessible. I mean, you can go buy guns, you can go buy all your groceries all in one stop. And it's just kind of the culture, it's the Republican culture that is in here as well in Kuna. But sorry about that, we couldn't get inside the store, so I didn't want to be disrespectful. But there's a lot of other things that are coming. There's a Panera Bread that's being built a little bit north of here. There's also going to be, like I said earlier, a grocery outlet, and it's all owned by the same guy. I think his name is Mark Ridley. He owns this entire plaza area from like the McDonald's and all these other things. So there's going to be more additions coming to over here in this area of Kuna, which is really close to a lot of the neighbors, a lot of the people that are in the Kuna area. There's a really popular neighborhood called Lagano Terra, which is a Tricidio builder. Love that one. It's a very beautiful neighborhood that has great homes in there if you're looking for higher end luxury. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the family-friendly community that Kuna has to offer. And I think that's important because there's safe neighborhoods. There's a ton of family events like Kuna Days. Hopefully I'll be able to pop up a picture of Kuna Days right here, but it's an annual celebration in Kuna, Idaho. It's typically held in the first weekend in August, and it's an event hosted by the Kuna Chamber of Commerce, and it's supported by the city's Park and Recreation Development. And it's a beautiful time for families to come out here and spend time together, and it's like a recreational thing. They have a lively parade down the main street. There's live music, vendors, food vendors all throughout the celebration, and there's family activities throughout the whole time as well. And so there's also a grand firework display towards the end of it as well. So it's just like a very memorable thing. When Kuna Days are happening, a lot of people will come and visit and come drive out and things like that. So down here, I also wanted to point out specifically, there's like a dairy store. It's like a local one where you can get ice cream and dairy, as well as a dental spot, orthodontic spot, the Nara ramen that I was talking about, and a place to get your haircut. So there's just a bunch of amenities that are in this specific commercial part of Kuna. And I think it's just really convenient because the homes are only going to be 2 to 10 minutes away from here. So you're not having to drive super far to get to where you're going. So if you want to be in Kuna and just stay in Kuna where it's going to be a little bit quieter with less development, that's definitely what it's going to be like. And like I said earlier, we visited in there. I didn't want to show you guys all of it because I couldn't, but you're going to be able to see the guns, and Kuna definitely loves their guns. You'll definitely be able to use that tannerite. It's like an explosive target that you can shoot with proper training and equipment. It's definitely a fun time. I've done it before, and it's one of those things that just make Idaho, Idaho. It's going to be very conservative. So I would say a con for Kuna is that if you're not a very conservative person, you may not feel like you fit in here, and maybe Boise is going to be your vibe. For those people that love God, family, country, I'll show a clip of me in front of the American flag here. That's what the Kuna environment and culture is going to be like. They're very important on family. I was talking to the people in there. They're very friendly as well. So it's just going to be the vibe and the culture that you experience here in Kuna. Now I want to show you guys a little bit more about what the homes look like. And we're going to be going to one of my favorite communities as well, called Patagonia. And I'll see you guys there to show you guys a little bit of some of the homes. All right, guys, now we are in Patagonia. It was very cold outside, so now I'm glad that we are in here. This home, it's not a home tour, but this is the Hayward floor plan by Berkeley Building Co. They're asking $550 for it. It's a 3-2 and it's about 1,800 square feet. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the affordability in Kuna and home prices, which is definitely probably half of why you clicked on this video, because you want to know what it looks like to have a home in Kuna. So hopefully this is a good angle, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Compared to Meridian, Eagle, and Boise, you're gonna find a lot more affordability, especially in Kuna because of the location. It's not too far, but it's far enough. And the home prices here for a 3-2, there are options under 400,000 that might be for a first-time home buyer, even 370, 380 mark as well. There's a ton of new construction in Kuna in general. I think it's one of the things that definitely captivate my eye when I'm looking over here as a real estate agent. There's a lot of new construction, a lot of variety and options for families that are looking to build. And I think a lot of the options open up around that 430 mark as well. You're gonna have a lot of other options for different builders around that time and point. There is also a lot of luxury in Kuna. A little bit earlier in the video, I mentioned another builder called Tresidio. That builder is going to be one of my favorites personally. They have a really great build called Valnova. It's in the southeast part of Kuna, and it's a master planned community with a golf, pools, walking trails, a lot of those things. And it's similar to Patagonia, where it has different builders like Riverwood Homes, Limelight, Berkeley, and some more. And these are gonna have more walking paths, pools. I actually have a cousin who lives in here and she loves it. So we're just talking about home prices. I really can't think of anything negative to say about Kuna. I think the popularity that Kuna is gaining is because of the family-oriented community, the ability to be a little bit farther from the city, but still have the amenities to be close to the city, which I mean, like, you're in Kuna, but you get to use the amenities of Meridian with a 15-minute drive or a 30-minute drive to downtown, especially because a lot of families are driving to maybe Meridian and Boise for work. So you get to live in Kuna where you have affordable home prices, which I actually really believe are gonna have a lot of appreciation because of how much new construction is coming and how much Kuna is developing for the future. A lot of people are gonna gain equity and appreciation because they're getting in early. I just definitely love it. I think that there's gonna be a little bit more traffic as it builds up, and I feel like I mentioned that in every video, but that's just because Idaho is growing, Kuna especially. But if you're okay with a smaller town feel, with more affordable prices, that's a huge factor as to why families specifically are looking to retire or start their family in the Kuna area. And if you're looking for larger lots of land, I also believe Kuna is a great option for that. There are bigger lots. I think it's a little harder to find custom homes on like acre lots, but there are half-acre to a third of an acre lots that have great luxury builds on them. So I definitely think that that's a really good option as well. When it comes, I wanted to read off of my notes where Kuna's effective property tax rate is 0.52, which I think Ada County has some of the lowest taxes in the state as well. It's just gonna be another one of those things that is like a cherry on top. I think a lot of agents miss the fact that Kuna is gonna grow and there's a lot of growth and appreciation. So that's why I wanted to mention that in the video. And it's still just really close to the city. So I love this build out specifically, beautiful quartz countertops and a lot of other options in this neighborhood. So if you're looking to find something in the area, definitely let me know. But now I wanna go to one of the popular areas. It's called D&B Supply. And that's where you're gonna find a lot of your outdoor crafty type of stuff for outdoorsmen and camping and all those things. So I'm gonna meet you guys there and we're gonna talk a little bit about traffic. All right guys, we are driving very safely, but I wanna show you here the D&B Supply. This is gonna be a place where you can get some farming equipment. You'll be able to grab firearm stuff, pet store stuff, and just kind of an overall general store, especially for farming and just outdoor equipment. So I wanted to just drop by there, but now I'm gonna use the parking lot to talk a little bit about, sorry guys, I have a little extra wedding stuff. I got married in October, so I have extra wedding stuff in my car. So forgive me. But talking about traffic in Kuna, I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but a lot of residents of Kuna are usually working a little bit outside of it. They're usually working in Boise. I know a lot of my friends, the talk of the town has been a new development in Micron, and they're building over there in the Boise area. That's going to be bringing a lot of jobs, and a lot of people aren't necessarily wanting to live over there in Boise, but find something a little bit more affordable for them to go and work and drive to. And that place is going to be places like Kuna and Meridian. So when you're looking at the traffic that's being built from there, I would say that you need to, and I've mentioned this a lot in my other videos, is plan ahead in the morning. When it comes to the 8 a.m. and the 9 a.m. traffic, it's like peak time. Getting over here from Nampa this morning definitely was a little bit of a struggle because there was an accident right on the Nampa part of the freeway. And then when it comes closer to the Meridian 10-mile entry and the Meridian Road where you get off to get in Kuna, it gets a little bit more congested on your way to Boise. And that's gonna be in the morning. It's a lot heavier going from the east to the the west to the Boise capital. And then towards the evening, I've mentioned before in a video, you can see on Apple Maps during the traffic layer when the traffic is the worst if you just pull it up in real time on your phone. And on the east to the west side of Nampa and Caldwell, you'll see that the traffic is kind of a little bit worse in the 4 to 5 p.m. area. So it's gonna be similar to Kuna, though I think that it's not that bad when you see Meridian Road. It's a very big road and it's very easy to get access to the south part of Kuna to the north part of Meridian. It's very streamlined and it's a very big road, but it does get congested a little bit sometimes at the traffic lights around 8 a.m. So I would definitely make room and make time for your morning traffic to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room so you're not late to work, but know that the traffic overall is a really great spot here in Kuna. Meridian, I made a video about it last week, is a little bit more congested because it's the central part of everything, so it's very congested. Kuna sits a little bit south of Meridian, so it sits a little bit away from the traffic. It's very easily accessible to get to your grocery store without having to get really stopped up, but there is a little bit of traffic in the morning, so I do want to mention that as well. When it comes to crime, I actually forgot my phone and to lock my car when I went to Ridleys today, when I was earlier in the video. And I didn't even think twice about having it be stolen or anything like that, because that's just the way Kuna and Meridian and Boise is. But specifically, we're talking about Kuna. Kuna is a very safe city and suburb of Boise. And I definitely want you guys to make note of that this is a safe town. Everyone here is going to, I mean, you know each other when you walk into the grocery store. You might know somebody. It's not that small, but it does have that feel. And so definitely want to make note of that mentally, because it offers a lot of different areas for you to hang out, to be in, and it all is very safe. And so talking about safe areas to hang out, I'm going to take you guys now and drive you guys to the Indian Greenbelt that was a little bit closer to the downtown area when you drive south of Meridian Road. And I'm going to show you guys a beautiful part of Kuna that it has to offer, and talk a little bit about the nature and the outdoor accessibility that you will have if you choose to live in Kuna. We are here at the Indian Creek Access Park, and there's also the Kuna Park as well. Just like that was a great, there's just so many cute dogs around here as well. But we are here, I parked up over here, and there's also little like ultimate Frisbee areas for people to come and play at. The Indian Creek River that runs through here is one of the only other rivers that I know of that you can float that is besides the Boise River. So that's a really big pro when you're out here in the Kuna areas, that you have access to this. They do have it currently drained right now, and there's no water running through it. So obviously I would not want to float that, but when there is water, it's a great opportunity for people to come out here, and it's an amenity that not all the people that live in Meridian have anything like this. So I do wish I had something like this, but we don't. Kuna does, however. So I do want to point out that throughout this time in your Kuna searching, if it's on your list, I want to definitely point out that there is access to greenbelts, rivers, a lot of local parks, and it's not even far from one of Meridian's most popular parks that I've covered in a previous video. It's called Discovery Park. But you'll be able to fish here, float the river. You'll have parks nearby, like I said, and like a lot of the folks here or clients of mine have said before, they're fur babies. You'll be able to walk them as well. Guys, look at this beautiful weeping willow tree right here. Oh gosh, that's amazing. So they're still developing amenities like the commercial development, like we pointed out a lot in this video, and I think that that's the one thing that is lagging behind in Kuna. But it also brings a tranquility to Kuna right now, that there's not a whole ton of commercial that is bringing everyone over here. So it's just a great opportunity for you to have something close by. The Kuna Birds of Prey Reservoir is only 30 minutes away. It's a lookout. And there's also a short drive to the Snake River or Kuna Caves, which is a great place to explore. If you're a young person or someone that likes to hike, the Kuna Caves is also a really, really great adventure to go and visit. It's definitely very popular, especially when we were young, to go and like hang out in. But as we talk about the overall reason, I think people are quietly moving here to the Kuna area because of the affordability. We've gone over that. We've gone over why now the parks and the accessibility to nature that Kuna has as well. But I wanna let you guys know that it's not like every other suburb, like Meridian, like Eagle. Those are gonna be busier, pricier, and more developed. But Kuna, meanwhile, it still has that Idaho feel. I would say that it reminds me of Meridian when it was maybe like a decade ago. Just had a lot more rural land, cornfields. You'll drive through cornfields and just undeveloped parts of Kuna that just make it feel more Idaho-like. It has the Kuna days, and it has the hometown feel when there's kids riding their bikes in the neighborhood and in the parks. It's gonna have that small town feel and charm that a lot of places are losing, especially the West Coast. And it's a genuine community spirit that has a combined growth and opportunity. It makes Kuna special. So I definitely want you guys to know that, and I think that that's the overview of Kuna. Also, the little tip that I wanted to give you guys is that Costco being built on Lake Hazel, kind of by where Discovery Park is is going to be finished hopefully by August 2026. That is the inside scoop. So I wanted to give you guys that little tidbit that not a lot of people know right now, and that's gonna be a huge addition to Kuna because it's gonna be Costco. There's only 3 right now, 1 in North Meridian, 1 in Boise, and 1 in Nampa. So being a 4th here in Kuna, it's gonna be a very big, convenient, and huge amenity that not every family is going to have access to in other suburbs. So it's gonna be a big plus for Kuna. But if you are looking to have an overview of what Meridian, Idaho looks like, I want to show you guys this video right here where I go over the breakdown of Meridian, what's new, what are the amenities in Meridian. So if you're looking to compare to this video, I also have a video for Meridian as well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me at my personal number that's been up here. And if you guys want to chat, that is what that's for. So we love you guys. Have an amazing week, and we will see you guys in the next one.